San Diego's downtown Bayfront is often called San Diego's front porch, and for years there have been attempts to make it more beautiful, inviting, and hospitable, but the latest attempts have been rejected by the Coastal Commission, and now hope springs anew. The vice chairman of the San Diego Port Commission is Scott Peters, and he is one of the hopeful, are you not, Scott?
I am very. Thanks for having me today.
What is the latest proposal for the North Embarcadero? I think that's what it's called.
Right. The North Embarcadero is the area between sort of Seaport Village, up past the county building, along the water, where we have a lot of asphalt. For about 12 or 14 years, people have been working to try to make that into a public space that you and I would like to go to as San Diegans and enjoy. We finally got to the point where we were ready to take something, the first build-out of part of it between Broadway and B Street, to the Coastal Commission, and there was an argument about whether we've satisfied our permit conditions. So it's been held up.
Well, I mean, it's more than a general whether you've satisfied the permit conditions. It has to do with a public park space.
Right. And I'm relatively new to this because I've been at the port for a little under 2 years. But the discussion has been going on since permits were issued by the Coastal Commission, I don't know, early 2001 or so. Mm-hmm. And we're ready now to invest about $28 million in narrowing Harbor Drive, pushing it over to the east, creating a public space where there's a lot of asphalt now for walkers and bikers and people to sit and enjoy it. But I guess there's a question about whether there's enough park space. And so that's been the argument, and what we've done this week is we've listened pretty hard to the people who've complained to see if we can't find a way to actually create more public space than we've even planned. And that was the result of the meeting this week, at which we really started to think about a setback that would create a public space not just on the water side, but also on the eastern side of Harbor Drive that's bigger than we've contemplated in the past.
It seems to me over the years, now it's true you've only been there 2 years, that the revamped idea of an Embarcadero has hit so many potholes.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why?
Well, one of the things about California process is it takes a long time, and then different people get engaged from time to time. And that's part of it. Part of it is it hasn't been until now that we've actually had the money to spend. And that's what's exciting me. Is
Where'd the money come from?
We have $28 million at CCDC, generally downtown money. Some of it is a loan to the port. Some of it is CCD's share of this, because this is a collaboration between those two agencies and the city of San Diego. And we're ready to go. I think we don't have a lot of disagreement about this Phase 1, Gloria. A lot of it is fixing the level of Broadway to improve views and to narrow Harbor Drive and rebuild it and create public space. So I think we should get going with that. I think there's starting to be a consensus that let's put that money into the ground, let's make this space, let's get started. And then we've already started a planning process for the rest of it, which will include the Navy Pier, potentially the Navy Broadway complex, which is a development that's got a lot of attention, potentially what's going to happen in front of the county building. There's a lot of great public space we can engage people in and have public input on, so we can have something really great.
So this plan now is being formulated to present again to the Coastal Commission.
Right. There's two parts. One, we have money to spend on today. That's Phase 1. I think there's agreement on it as long as we talk about the kinds of things we're going to consider down the road in terms of planning. I think our opponents are going to come on board with us. And then Phase 2 is a bigger effort. It's going to be much more public outreach to really figure out what haven't we done in the plan, what do we need to include, what can we do to make this a great waterfront space.
In 10 seconds, why, with all of the financial issues facing public agencies today, should this be a priority?
Well, there's just a huge opportunity for San Diego. And, you know, if we don't think about the future in terms of creating a great space, we're going to lose a lot of economic opportunities. So this is the right thing to do. It's time to invest now for a bright future tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Port
Sure.
Commissioner Scott Peters.
Thanks, Lou.